Welcome everybody to our 3:30 performance of our Shelter in Place Festival. This next performance is No Right Time. It is written by Jackie Martin. It is starring Jerry Downey and Scott Moffitt, and this was directed by Taylor Staniforth. Enjoy, everybody.
The setting, present time, a FaceTime call. Kevin, a nurse, calls from an on-call room in the hospital he's working in. His husband, David, is at home.
There you are.
How's it going over there?
It's weird. Everything is weird. We miss you.
I miss you too. Where are the kids?
It's 9:30.
Shit, really?
Really?
Oh man, I'm sorry. Man, I meant to call earlier.
It's okay. We get it.
I was supposed to go to dinner, but then I got called in to intubate this patient and it was complicated.
Is the guy going to be okay?
I hope so. It's Allison.
Allison.
You know Allison. We had her and her husband for dinner.
Wait, Allison, your coworker, Allison?
Yeah.
And you had to...
She got sick late last week and it just, it happened fast.
She's what, 40?
Something like that, yeah. She's been mostly okay. Been using the nasal cannula the last couple of days. Oh, that's the, the oxygen that goes up your nostrils.
Right.
Right. Well, she was on that the last couple of days, and tonight, we don't know. Her oxygen just dropped all of a sudden. She couldn't get enough, so we had to intubate.
Jesus.
Intubating a colleague like that, a friend, it's different, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't, but I can imagine.
I keep replaying it. I was the person with the most seniority that was also available, so they called me in to do it. And when I saw the page, when I saw the room number come up. Anyway, so that happened around 7:30 when I was going to go get dinner and call you, and then...
It's okay.
Time got away from me.
Did you eat?
No, not yet.
You have to make yourself eat.
I'll eat.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I don't know. I needed some time after that. I needed some time to myself. Hey, David.
I'm here.
Do you have a pen and paper?
Yeah. Hold on. Got it. What's up?
So I want you to write a couple things down for me.
Shoot.
Okay. So first, in my closet, up on the top shelf is the firebox with all of our important papers. Remember?
Yeah, of course.
I moved the key a few months ago when we got the new bedroom furniture. I forgot to tell you. It's in the nightstand on my side, but it's in the drawer inside a little wooden box. I keep meaning to put it somewhere better, but write that down, okay? Firebox, Kevin's bedside table, wooden box, inside drawer.
Okay, got it.
I have a book on our bookshelf that's got all of my passwords in it. It's this old microbiology textbook, super beat up. The pages are all yellowed. If you turn to the back, all of my passwords are written down and tucked in there. Page 328. Write that down.
Kevin.
David, write it down. What else? Sorry, my head.
We don't have to do this right now.
We need to do it sometime.
Not right now.
When?
When you're home. When we can talk face to face.
I see your face.
Uh, you know what I mean.
David, neither one of us knows when that will be.
Do you really have to keep staying there?
You know I do. Especially now. Allison, she's not the only sick one. And the more of us that go down, the more the rest of us are involved, exposed.
You're working too hard.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry. I remember my mom. All of her important documents are in a filing cabinet in that back bedroom. She knows where they are, but sometimes she just leaves stuff on the kitchen table. And when I go over there, I always go through it and I see what needs to be filed.
I know. I've seen you do that.
Right. It's just, she's slowing down, you know. It'd be easy for her to misplace important things. She's used to me coming over and taking care of it. So if anything happens to me,
Nothing's going to happen
if
to
anything
you.
happens, I need you to do that for her. Would you?
Of course I would. You know I would.
My sister isn't going to be much help. So, and listen.
Can we please do this later?
I want you to know, if I die,
please.
There's plenty of money coming to you and the kids. You need to know that. You'd be taken care of, and my life insurance would cover what's left of my medical loans. We have that rider, so.
I was there when we signed the paperwork, remember?
Right, I know. I just want to make sure you know.
I know.
And
I can't.
Last thing for now. I have medical directives. They're here at the hospital. I updated them a few weeks ago in sound mind. You don't need to know too much about that right now, but if the time were to come, just know you won't have to make any decisions. I've already made them. The worst thing is that Allison is alone in there. Their family can't come.
I'm sorry.
I give them updates. They count on me for that and to take care of her. It feels like everyone is counting on me for something right now. And I'm trying. I'm just so tired in my bones. And I feel like I'm disappointing everyone. I can't be there with you guys. I can't make everyone better. I can't give Allison's family good news. I can't.
You will. You'll give them good news.
I hope so.
You will. And you'll be home with us. And you'll stay healthy.
Yeah. But I need you to know where the important things are, just in case.
Nothing's going to happen to you.
You don't know that. It'll take one thing off my plate. If I know that you know, in the event, if something happens to me, it'll be hard to keep a straight head on. You'll be busy taking care of everyone else. If you have this list, you at least have one thing done.
You're always thinking of other people.
Well, it's selfish too. Makes me feel better.
Makes me feel worse.
You can handle it.
I miss you.
I wish I could be there. You have no idea.
I know, but you're where you need to be.
I guess I am.
Kev, eat something, okay?
Text me a picture of the kids in the morning. I'll try to call during breakfast. I'm just, I'm going to go check on Allison real quick. So,
Kev,
I'll eat something before I crash. Promise. I love you.
Love you. Be safe.
Be good.
Be well. Oh, please be well.
Wonderful job to our actors and to our director. What a touching story and play. Jackie, if you want to join me for the Q&A, I would love our audience to ask Jackie questions about this amazing work. I'm very excited to talk to you. All right. Whew. Going to decompress after that. Well, Jackie, tell us where you're sheltering in place.
It's going pretty well. I'm currently in Norwood, Mass, which is about 20 miles south of Boston, with my husband and kids.
Wonderful. Well, I hope you're staying safe. All right. I would love to know your inspiration for this beautiful piece of work.
So not any one thing, kind of an amalgamation of the different stories that have been coming out over the news, personal stories from people, Twitter, things like that, combined with the idea that a lot of people, whether it's because they're either working in a place where they have a higher risk or because they just are higher risk for whatever reason, are having to have these tough conversations. And I'm a person who does not enjoy those tough conversations. So it's sort of, I'm very privileged in that we're all sort of lucky to be in the house together. My husband and I are both teachers. We don't have to go anywhere right now, but I don't like those conversations, and I know they're necessary sometimes. So it just kind of kept on the loop in my head with a lot of these other stories that I'm hearing.
Yeah. I mean, I really do feel that. So you definitely relate to one character over the other. Do you have any other inspiration? I mean, I do too. I definitely sometimes don't want to hear those hard conversations. For those characters, do you have any inspiration that came into the development of, they're just so loving and touching, and I love their relationship. So touch base on that for us.
I mean, not any particular person or anything. They just kind of formed. They were just the people that they were when I started writing it. I don't really know how else to explain it in that, except that, I do have a lot of family members who one spouse or another is working in a hospital. So I know that that's probably going through people's minds quite a bit. I'm constantly, thinking about them as well. But other than that, there's not really any one particular person or story that hit on it. It was just sort of that they seemed to already exist somewhere in my head. And this was just their story.
I love it. Well, we're getting a lot of good comments, mainly, wow, amazing job, wonderful, bravo, Jackie. Beautiful and sad. I mean, it is a sad piece, but it's inspiring as well. So it kind of touched base on, it reminded me of the conversation. We have this podcast and radio segment on KERA called Think with Chris Boyd. And she talks with an author who says that we're very disconnected from death. And I think this is probably the most connected we have been to death, or like right in front of our face. I really felt that in this piece, we're going to have to deal with some of this. So can you talk a little bit about that?
I mean, I think that's absolutely right. I think that when it first kind of started, everyone was in a similar mindset of, well, it's not going to be that bad here, or it's just the flu, or whatever, for whatever reason that is. People sort of had that mindset, and it's been a really interesting thing to see it change, and to personally have it change in my mind as well. I think that I really try a lot to read about and think about things like death and grief and fear and vulnerability and those things that are very scary to talk about. I am not comfortable with them, so I try to throw myself into them occasionally. And I think that writing things like this might be part of that, sort of trying to wrestle it in my brain. But yeah, I think that it's oftentimes in a friendship or relationship or a parent-child thing, you see one person wanting to have that conversation and the other person not quite ready to hear it. Particularly, I've noticed it, especially with some of my friends and their parents at these times. Whichever, whether it's the parent saying, no, it's not an issue, I can go out, or if it's the other way around, and the parent wants to talk about it and the child doesn't, it just can come up in so many different ways. So I think this was my way of sort of wrestling with that in my own brain.
Yeah. I have, so he had a list of things that you'll at least have one thing done. That line, like, yes, you'll be dealing with all of this, but at least you'll have this. We do have a question from the audience. Jackie, I love how much depth you gave the characters, the way you wrote and conveyed their relationship really well. Loved it. Well, it's more of a statement, but we also have so well done, so beautifully written. We can go into if you have any advice for aspiring playwrights. I know you were talking about things that are difficult for you. You kind of like to delve into that, and that is one way that you deal with it is writing. Talk a little bit about that.
I don't know. I just think that it's, similar to any art form. It can be therapeutic, it can be cathartic, it can be a way to explore ideas or conversations that you wouldn't normally have. Sometimes it's like the revenge fantasy where you say the thing that you should have said in that moment but you didn't think of until like 3 days later, or the thing that you really want to say to someone that you haven't been able to because it's too scary or whatever it is. So I think that there are a lot of people that are comfortable with those things. If you're not and you like writing, that's a good place to do it. I think everyone so far I've been watching has given really great advice. And the only other thing I would add is just to not be afraid of something being bad. Like, just write the bad thing. Don't get caught up in it being perfect right away. Write it. And then after that, that's when you go back and you get to enjoy the fixing. So that would be my only, I guess my only other thought.
I love it. Well, do you have any questions for our audience that you would like them to answer about the piece?
No, I don't know that I do. I think that just if there are any bits that are unclear or that feel like inauthentic, I'd love to hear about it. But otherwise, it's a short little vignette, really. So not too much.
Well, thank you so much for coming on this Q&A, and thank you for submitting such a gorgeous work. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks so much to the actors and to Taylor as well. They were amazing.
Yes, thank you to all of our performers, and thank you to Jackie. All right, everybody, we will continue this at 4. So come back and we will have another performance for you. We will see you then.